On to this conversation now, and we've all seen social media stories recently of Matthew Lani, who claimed to be a qualified doctor. Revelations of actress Jada Pinkett Smith and her relationship with her husband Will Smith has been spread all across social media, and many people making memes and others maintain such details should rather remain private. So what are the rules of social media when it comes to your private life or even your job as a professional? To help us understand this better, I'm now joined by social media expert Margriet Groenewald. Good evening to you, and thank you very much for joining us here on Newsnight. I want to start by just chatting briefly about the evolution of social media, because it really seemed to have started at a place that was, meant to be a fun space where you perhaps share your favorite images with family members and friends, but it's really evolved over the last couple of years. Talk to us about that evolution.
Yes, unfortunately, social media became this platform where everyone who's got an opinion just shares it. And the danger is that people don't understand the implications of what they put online. So we have to remember that what you put on social media can basically never be erased. And where we see, especially celebrities that go and wash their dirty laundry online, it really hurts everyone involved, and especially if there are kids. So when we look at someone like Jada Pinkett Smith, we have to understand that they are A-lister celebrities, and she just launched a book, Worthy, and a lot of what has been said on social media is actually what came from the book. So we shouldn't think of her as an example of this is the way to do it, because there is kind of method behind why there's so much about her and Will Smith online. It is basically for sales. But we see a lot of, and we've had cases with local celebrities, where they badmouth their ex and things like that. And that is absolutely not the way to do it. And unfortunately, sometimes we do things online, and while we are in the moment, and we don't realize that lives on forever. So it's very important to understand that, you can be charged criminally by anything you put online and what you say about other people. And when we get to what you say about the Matthews Lani, the doctor, I mean, he has been charged now by the Department of Health with criminal charges. So you simply cannot just go on and pretend to be a doctor. However, we as users also have to understand you cannot just trust anything and anyone online. So it's extremely important to go and look at your sources and make sure that what you take in and what you read, you have to verify. And unfortunately, like you say, we just believe anything we see online, and that is really not great for the culture we are creating and for what we're leaving after for our children.
And often, people look at social media and think that everything they see on those platforms are in fact real. But often it is not real, and it's often really the best parts of someone's life. You don't really see the worst parts of someone's life. What advice would you give people, especially professionals, when trying to find a balance between enjoying their time on social media but remaining professional as well?
So I think it is extremely important to make sure that what you take in is good for you. We have to be disciplined with what we take in, but then also what we create. As someone who wants to be a professional person, maybe you are a celebrity, maybe you are in the limelight, it's extremely important to understand everything you post has to be in line with what you want to put out there. It's almost like this big billboard that you put out. And sometimes, we have fun, we post something, but is that in line with what you want your employer to see you for, or what you want your boss or whoever, or your future employee, especially if you must still enter the workforce. And those things, unfortunately, we have seen come back like 5, 6, 7 years later, that they come and haunt you. And
Yeah.
what you say and do online stays part of your digital legacy, and you always have to think twice before you post.
100%. I just want to touch on the issue of posting children and posting minors. There's so much danger when it comes to that. Obviously, as a parent, it's your own prerogative on how you choose to display your family online. But let's talk through some of the dangers.
Yes, absolutely. I think we also live in a society where a lot of children grow up in different households with divorced parents. And there it's also very, very important to understand that you have to have consent from both parents if you want to post the child online. And also a lot of the times parents want to take pictures of, sport matches and things like that. And that is extremely dangerous. So I would stay away as far as possible from posting children online. It's just really, it's really dangerous. But like you say, as a parent, you can decide whether I want to post pictures of my children, but you have to be very careful with that.
And I think it's also important to note that we need to be mindful of the content that we're putting out there and showcasing of the other people around us, because not everyone would necessarily want to be included in those videos and those pictures and being posted. For example, if I'm out at a restaurant and a waitress brings me my cup of coffee, it's not fair for me to just start filming her and post her to my social media, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think we must all just start to gain that mutual respect of other people and know that before you even just create a piece of digital content, think about the fact that this piece of content is going to stay on the internet forever. You basically cannot delete a piece of content that you put out there. And, if there are other people involved, that is even more dangerous. So it's very important to think about that and be mindful of whoever is in the surrounds. And I know, especially when we celebrate or when we're having a party, we just want to post things, but it can really hurt someone's reputation. It can hurt their future employment. I mean, there's so many things that, and when a piece of content is out there, you really cannot take it back. You cannot delete it. Well, you can delete it, but if it's been shared, if there's a screenshot or screen recording, you really cannot do anything about that. And it sort of takes on a life of its own. So just be very mindful of whatever you post.
100%. Well, Margriet, thank you very much for your time and for your insights as well. We really appreciate you chatting to us tonight. That was social media expert Margriet Groenewald just talking to us and reminding us to be a little bit more mindful with regards to social media and what we put out there. But still to come.